Right, everybody, you're all back on my screens. Welcome back from your breakout rooms. I can't wait to listen to some of the learnings, some of the conversations that you've had. Remember, before we went into the breakout rooms, I asked you to discuss some of the points in that second quadrant. Is that pulling up on your screens now?
Yeah.
So before the breakout rooms, we spoke about the responsibilities of a manager, as a coach, as a mentor, and I asked you to talk what would make a great mentor. Great mentors need to be. Yeah, that was your subject that I asked you to chat about. So share with me just one or two things and we can take our learnings from there. Kevin, what was one of the things a great mentor that came up in your conversations?
Great mentors must be available.
Stunning, excellent, lovely. Were there any other things from the group?
Also,
yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Trish.
Yeah, I think the main thing for me is to lead by example.
Lovely, I like that. Maura, you were going to say.
I was saying being trustworthy and supportive.
Love that one. I love that one. I want to share with you what I've got on that second quadrant. You're going to notice I'm thinking quite a lot of the things you've mentioned are going to pop up. Is that pulling through in a moment?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Excellent. So are you noticing some of those things on that screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you noticing any additional ones that perhaps didn't come up in your conversations?
No, I think the teacher counselor, especially the counselor part, I don't know. I can't recall that we discussed that one.
Excellent, good. Let's take a start. I want to start with perhaps seeing what learnings we can develop. The one that Maura mentioned. Maura, you mentioned trustworthy, was that? Yeah.
Correct.
All right, let's explore that one. As a manager, particularly as a coach, mentor, what's your opinion? What would happen if trust wasn't in that relationship between you and your employees?
So I have a good example. I can share my personal example. I had a manager that didn't speak to me for a month, which meant that I couldn't trust him, and it resulted in me looking for another job.
Wow.
Sure. Wow.
And may I ask, Maura, in that time period, I mean, that's a real extreme situation. In that time period, what happened to your productivity?
Oh, it went way down because I did the bare minimum. I was so unhappy, and it actually even affected my family life because I was deeply, deeply unhappy.
I can only imagine. And may I ask, in terms of the emotions that you experienced, when you moved teams, was there an immediate difference that you experienced in aspects of your life?
Definitely, immediately, because finding another job with a manager that was like a complete opposite of the one that I had made a huge difference. I was finding joy in what I did. I was happy at home again. It made a huge difference to me as a person. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Maura's example was quite extreme, not so. Can you think in perhaps your examples of where you were, just everyday life, can you think of maybe smaller type examples where still trust could potentially be broken?
Yeah. I had a manager who I would have one-on-one discussions with him, about my PDP, where I'm going, what I want to do. And then I would hear my peers talking about our discussions that we had. And I've never spoken to anyone about it except my wife, and she doesn't talk to my work colleagues. And I never opened up to him again, never trusted him until the day he left. Never, ever told him anything.
Can you see what happens when trust is broken? You're relating to it in your own personal experience. Take that with you, ladies and gentlemen. Take that with you into your teams because you know the devastating effect. So if I were to ask you this, and I'm happy with a one-word answer, when should we or could we break the trust of our employees? as a coach, as a manager, as a mentor?
Only if it would be a life-threatening situation, or if that person is going to harm themselves. In those instances, you would need to call for help.
Stunning. You're reading my mind, Trish. Absolutely. So this is the principle I want to discuss with you. In effect, we should never break that trust, yeah? Because you've seen, if there's a break in the trust, there's no relationship. However, we've got to take into account what Trish said. What happens if they share with us confidentially self-harm, self-abuse, abuse other people involved, etc.? And that's a conversation I want to take you in now to see how can we have that conversation so that should that ever happen, we're still not breaking the trust of that individual. Let's explore that topic.